The first person I'm going to talk about here is Annie Atkins. Uh, Researching her was very interesting, and the background she had was really nice. Her parents were both designers, and that kind of influenced her to become a designer and to express her creativity in different ways. Whenever she was older, she studied design at Ravensbourne in London, then later made the jump to filmmaking in Dublin, Ireland. Yeah, and as far as Annie's career, she was honestly worth looking up, like in researching. In her background, I found out that she was a part of the team that created Box Trolls, which was a great movie when I was growing up. I loved it to death. And the show Peanut Dreadful I've seen recently on Netflix is really good. And I didn't know that she was also a lead graphic designer for Wes Anderson movies, like the Grand Budapest Hotel and Isle of Dogs. And currently, she is creative director of Annie Atkins and Company. And on this slide, I have a lot of Annie's work I thought was really cool because, especially for Box Trolls, because I remember this growing up and it was just it was a really nice movie. You guys just go ahead and watch it. And why I chose this picture here is because actually all this was sketched by hand, each island that's near China, and I thought it was really cool. And the reason I chose this picture also is because Annie actually transitioned to filmmaking and design in Dublin, and I do believe that this is why she made this one. And that's actually what she needed, a breath of fresh air at the time. Okay, our next artist here is Aaron Draplin. And Eric Draplin is not only a graphic designer, but he's also an author, and he's a founder of his own company. And a little bit of his past is that at the age of 17, he left high school. And after he left high school, he started on his degree in college. And that's kind of where he learned the basics of his visual art. And 2 years later, at the age of 19, he moved to Bend, Oregon to pursue his career in graphic design. And here's a little bit of insight into Aaron's careers. The first one here, it really had an impact on his future. He did snowboarding graphics for Solid Snowboards, and doing so, uh, he was offered a position as art director for Snowboarder magazine. And in 2002, he became a senior designer at Synco Design office of Portland. And years later, he decided to found his own company, which is called Draplin Design Company. And what they do is they specialize in brand identity, logo design, and typography. Okay, now last artist here is Saul Bass. And a little bit about him is that he was an American graphic designer of the 20th century, and he kind of pioneered to what we have in movies today, as far as like credit wise, and how the titles appear for different people. Um, he mostly designed motion picture title sequences, corporate logos, and movie posters. And he also won the Academy Award for his graphic designing, which is pretty cool. Okay, and a little bit into Saul's career growing up. He worked as a freelancer for various different people and companies, like the Warner Brothers. And years later, he established his own company, the Saul Bass and Associates here. And in 1954, he had his big break because Otto Preminger asked him to design a poster for Carmen Jones. And after all that in Hollywood, he created the poster. He worked for different production houses, and there he employed different types of typography for motion pictures. And he was the first to introduce these techniques to Hollywood films. And here I have some of Saul's work here. Kleenex. I didn't know he made that. And now that I look at it, he has like this soft typography to it, kind of like the tissue itself. And here he has the anatomy of murders. I thought it was really cool, like how you just separated the body parts, like anatomy. Basically, you learn the different parts of the body. And here, vertigo. I thought it was really interesting because vertigo, it's like when you basically it's like you're dizzy all the time, and like the way he just had this spiral going around was really neat.